Okay, let's take a quick look at this creation of mine. Since my Vespacar only has heating from the hot air that comes from the engine, which is kind of stinky, I decided let's make an electric heater. So I set out to model and 3D print a centrifugal fan, which you can see here, and an adapter to attach it to the already pre-existing dashboard air outlet. It works pretty well. Here's the motor. That's a lot of hot snot, but the clamps I made here were a little bit too weak. This motor did have a little bit of an extension going into this frame, but it's not enough to keep it stable. Since this thing's spinning very quickly, I needed to hot snot it. But other than that, it's completely glue-free. There is a heating element in there, which I'll show in a bit. It all runs off 12 volts, which is connected to here, and this big old chunky switch to turn it on and off. So you can just pop off this adapter. It's friction fit. This has been on the car for about 6 months, and I haven't had a single issue with it. Aside from that, it blows and heats a little too weakly. It does work, but it's a bit on the low side. Okay, I had to get a little violent because this was really stuck in there. But this heater element was in here. I just stuffed it in there. And yeah, it's just a perf board with resistive wire, with heating wire in the shape of a coil in there. Okay, so this again just pops off the actual fan, and you can also pull off the shroud. There we go. And there we have the centrifugal fan. And it blows pretty well. But yeah, again, it's just a tad on the weak side. And the issue is, because of the angle of the air blowing into this, most of it goes out that way. So I don't really have a spread across the window. So I kind of have like this V shape of clear window, and the rest is still foggy. So, well, that's why I took this out, because this is gonna be the new fan. This is an old server fan I still had. It does the big blow. Like, this thing really moves air. It does require some power. It's 12 volt, but almost 3 amps at full power. So I am gonna have to use a separate fuse for this new heater I'm designing. Luckily, I still have this old fan controller that I designed specifically for these fans. And this thing still works perfectly. So that will allow me to regulate the fan speed, which conveniently also runs off 12 volts. So yeah, this is the whole package. R.O.T, a frame and a shroud has been devised. So I'm printing the frame now, which will hold everything in place. See if that fits. It should. And then I can try it out. Got a prototype setup. The knob turns the wrong way. But and the wire just got loose. But hey, it works. It blows very nicely. And here's a shot of the fan controller. Just a 40106 Schmidt trigger as a PWM oscillator with a 5 volt regulator. And yeah, that's all she wrote, really. Well, I forgot to film it, but I tested this and it works. It works really well. I put a fuse here for the heater element. And here's the speed control for the fan. Here's the heating element that I made with some PCB and some coils of nichrome wire. There's a relay tucked in here, which controls power to the heater element. And this relay in turn along with the fan is powered from the key switch in the car. This is for security reasons, or safety reasons rather, so that can't accidentally leave the heater element on when you exit the car. You actually have to have the key in there and on the run position. So yeah, that's a little bit of safety. Don't want, well, first of all, don't want it to drain the battery overnight, and second of all, since it produces heat, there's of course a fire risk always. So yeah. Anyways, let's stuff this in the car, and yeah, let's see how she does. Right, so here it is in the car. Let me turn on the power. You hear the fan. So yeah, that blows really hard. And here's the switch for the heat. So makes it nice and warm in the air. So it works really well. So yeah, I call that a success. In the meantime, I removed the seats, and I've been cleaning up the area under the seats, because yeah, it's a bit messy. But yeah, here's a good look at what happens under the seats of a Vespacar P2. Got the 12-volt battery. Got the big box over there is a 12-volt regulator, of which I'm honestly not sure if it works. And yeah, big fuse. I 3D printed a fuse holder for that. So 4-speed manual, reverse, like so. That's in reverse. I put a little cushion here to prevent this from flailing around. I'll put a proper rubber later there. This is just temporary. And yeah, been painting some bits and bobs that were really ugly, like this strip too, and everything. So yeah, painted the seats too, and then I can put this thing back together there. Yeah. I also fixed my reversing light, and I added a buzzer. So